Hot Chile is an ASX-listed copper company. I'm joined here at the Sprott Natural Resources Conference with the Managing Director, Christian Easterday. Christian, great to have you here today.
Thank you. Great to be here.
It has been a long journey for you. You have come up to Vancouver, Canada from Australia.
Yes.
But your properties are based in Chile. So can you first tell us a little bit about your company logo and what it represents?
Great. Well, obviously, Hot Chile, we're ASX listed company, as you've said. We have a copper portfolio of advanced projects in Chile on the coastline that we've been developing over a number of years. And I guess we're more well known for the Productora copper project, which is a very large scale coastal range development that the company's invested about $100 million into so far. And since we've now come out of quite a protracted period of depressed prices for copper, and the last 18 months the company's been resetting itself and preparing to continue what we began with originally. So we have a very advanced large-scale project that now we're concentrating on adding the remaining mine life. In particular, we've got some very exciting drilling programs commenced on some satellite high-grade opportunities which we've been consolidating in the region.
And Christian, I'm sure when people look at your company, they want to know the details about your financials as well as the management team.
Sure.
So for potential investors out there, could you shed light on that?
Yeah, I think over the last 4 years we saw almost like a mass extinction event in the copper equity space. A lot of the advanced copper developers were very, very beaten up with their share prices. I was last at a conference a number of weeks ago and spoke about a sort of a rocky moment where, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you get hit. So we're very fortunate to be here, still standing, and that gives us a tremendous advantage at the moment. We're $100 million US invested into our project, which gives us a very strong head start. So onto the finances of the company, we have a very strong balance sheet, no debt, about $4 million of cash in treasury at the moment, and a drilling program that's it's about 6 weeks underway at the moment. So no, treasury is good, and obviously, the equity markets are starting to improve quite significantly, particularly for copper developers and copper equities, particularly given what's predicted to be occurring as a large supply deficit coming in the next few years.
And that brings me to my next question, which is your drilling project. You touched slightly on that, but I would like to get an overview of your El Fuego copper project in Chile.
Yeah, well, look, it's a very exciting new direction for the company. We spent the last few years talking to a lot of the regional owners around our large-scale Productora copper project and looking for a lot of the high-grade family-owned mines that really only had the ability to process through a very high-cost, low-tonnage processing facility in the area. And we've been able to strike 3 deals, securing some very high-grade assets, 2 to 5% typical production grades from these mines that have also never really been drilled or had modern exploration applied to them. So in all 3 cases, these mines have never really been optioned. So joining together with Hot Chile, we've now started rolling out quite a systematic exploration approach that culminated in 6 weeks ago, the commencement of our first drilling program over a deposit called San Antonio. It's been mined since 1964. About 2 million tonnes at 2% copper and 0.3 grams per tonne gold has come out of the ground so far. And I guess in the next 24 hours we're about to release our first drill results. So very exciting, and we'll be using the Sprott conference as a platform for the first drill results to roll out across San Antonio, where we are expecting to see some wide, high-grade copper from very shallow depths confirmed.
So Christian, I'm sure we'll all look forward to those results as the conference continues here. Before I let you go, I do want to ask you about your flagship, the Productora. What benchmarks are you seeking right now?
Look, when we finished a very large investment phase on Productora, We left the project with a 10-year mine life. Productora at 0.5% really requires about 17 years mine life to be a financeable project. So rather than continuing to spend a lot of money during depressed copper cycle, the company really defended the asset, shut down expenditure and tried to preserve the capital structure. It's why we're here today. We had very strong support from Sprott, from our large shareholders at Taurus and Kalgoorlie Group, and those large backers and those deep pockets have ensured that Productora was able to be maintained, and now it's about finishing where we left it. So adding that additional mine life, but more importantly what we're doing right now is focusing on high grade ore sources that can be blended in and therefore lift the production grade, lift the metal output and decrease the operating costs on our development cost numbers. So really it's about putting the economics into a commanding position by incorporating multiple ore sources, and these ore sources are very sexy, 2 and 3 and 4% copper ore bodies over reasonable tonnages. There aren't many of those around, so I imagine the market is going to get some excitement on these potential assets that we're drilling now, but the impact of what it unlocks for a very large scale asset that's already a $100 million head start from where we begin now is very exciting, particularly against our market capitalisation of $30 million. When copper was last at around $3 a pound where we are today, Hot Chili had a market capitalisation of $250 million. So going into this next copper price cycle, companies like Hot Chili are certainly very, very leveraged against what is going to happen. What we're trying to do now is focus on catalysing a re-rate, but more importantly it's about building Productora's economics into something that puts it in a leading position into the next wave of copper mines to be built.
Well, Christian, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll look forward to that announcement here at the Sprott Conference.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.